So as I said, I'm Sean. I'm here at the Commerce Shop, a conversion rate expert, joined by Satish, the CEO and co-founder. And today we're going to be covering the rise of agentic commerce. This meeting is being recorded, so a copy of it will be sent out after. If you do have any questions, we ask that you put them in the chat, or if you are on the live stream, comment. We will be monitoring those and addressing the questions as they do come up. Also, we ask that you stay muted and keep your cameras off for the duration of the presentation. Like I said, if you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and we will address them as they come up. All right, so let's dive into it. I'm going to welcome everyone and thank you for joining us today. I'm Sean, and as I said, I'm joined with Satish. And over the next 60 minutes, we're going to cover something that is changing the economics of e-commerce faster than almost any shift we've seen since mobile. The title puts it plainly: The Rise of Agentic Commerce, Why Store Data Drives AI Sales. That subtitle is the thesis for everything we're going to cover today. But before we get into it, quick housekeeping. Like I said, the session is being recorded. Enter questions as they come up, but we will also leave time for a live Q&A session at the end. And every attendee, you'll receive the slides afterwards, and also a link to the full 305 brand audit report that we referenced throughout. And don't forget, as a special incentive for sticking around, we are offering complimentary audits and AI readiness audits to the attendees. So you will get the link and information about that at the end. Okay, so as I said today, here's how this session is structured. We have 5 sections. We'll start with the big picture shift: why AI agents have literally replaced human shoppers at the top of the funnel. Then we'll run a live 5-minute question diagnostic where you score your own store as we go. Third, we will share what we actually found when we audited 305 real brands representing 2.2 billion in combined revenue. In section 4, we will get practical. So we'll cover some quick wins for Monday, a 90-day plan, and 2 case studies that you can model. And at the close, we'll close with a deep dive into what's actually changed in Shopify, Adobe Commerce, and BigCommerce in the past 12 months. But I'm just curious, let's make this a little interactive. So if you are in the Zoom with us, or if you're in the live, if you could put in, I'm curious to see what platforms our attendees are utilizing. So are you on Shopify, Adobe Commerce, BigCommerce? Let's take a second. If you're willing to share that, that's great, but no pressure. Nice to see you got one Shopify person. Gento, okay, excellent. So yeah, we're going to give you tips that you can use with each platform. So as I say, let me see. The way buyers find brands have always been evolving, from yellow pages to search engines to social. Happening right now is architecturally different. So there are now 3 distinct discovery layers operating simultaneously. Oh, sorry, that was the agenda. Okay. Sorry about that. Lost my place for a second. Operating simultaneously. So layer 1 is the classic SEO. A human searches Google. You compete for the click. Most of your current marketing budget lives here. In layer 2 is the GEO and the AEO layers, so the generative engine optimization and answer engine optimization. A human asks an AI assistant like ChatGPT or Perplexity, and you compete to be cited in those answers. And then there's layer 3, which is the agentic commerce. An AI agent acts on behalf of a human, queries structured data sources, builds a shortlist, and either recommends or completes a transaction. No human eyes ever touch your product. So here's the critical insight. Most teams are spending almost 100% of their optimization efforts on layer 1. Layer 3 is already live, it's already transacting, and the brands who win there will compound their average advantage because citations are breeding more citations. Okay, so I need to ask the chat too. You can just give me a thumbs up. Is anyone actually starting to, how can I say this, optimize for layer 3 currently? the agentic commerce portion. Does anyone have any plans in place? Something that, okay, I see one person, nice, ahead of the curve. Because, the early adopters now are the ones who are going to reap the most benefits from this, as shown here. So let me show you how the market is changing, because this isn't a someday trend. It's happening now, and we're at a pivotal moment. So the agentic commerce market is already at 5.71 billion in 2025. It's not projected, that's current. By 2026, it should hit 7.7 billion, and in 2033, projection from Grandview Research is 65.74 billion in revenue, so at a 35.7% compound annual growth rate. So the bar chart here, it shows the shape of that growth. It's not linear, it's exponential. The inflection point is happening right now in 2025 and 2026. So as major platforms hit production scale. So there are three commercial interaction models emerging. Consumer to agent, where direct-to-consumer shoppers delegate their purchases to an agent. There's business to agent, where procurement teams use agents to source, quote, and order. And this is especially significant for B2B brands. And then there's agent to agent, where systems transact directly with no human in the loop at all. Now, North America leads the market today. Asia Pacific market, it's growing the fastest. So the window to establish a first mover position is open right now, but it won't stay open for long. As we say, we're at that inflection point. So now is the time where you really want to lock in, get your strategies in place, and make sure you're optimized for this to be an early adopter to reap the most benefits. So now I'm going to pass it over to Satish, who is going to go through more in depth the steps that you need to look at, things that you can implement, and go over the case studies.
Thank you, Sean. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Satish. So first we'll talk about how agentic commerce is already in the market. Most of us have been started using ChatGPT, Claude, or Google AI for our regular kind of use cases on a daily basis, including searching for products or any particular services in these engines we have been utilizing to search for our specific services and products as well. So based on the current data, ChatGPT roughly collects as like 1 million weekly users, and it also has launched, basically OpenAI has launched native product carousels, price comparisons, and a one-click checkout by integrating with the Stripe. So if our website is offering proper offer schema, there is a possibility, we can increase the citation rate of our products in those ChatGPT recommendations. Okay. And on the Google side, which is more serving as a conversational shopping experience inside the search interface, so that most of our customers use mostly for shopping on Google AI on a regular basis. Compared with ChatGPT, people are using Google's native AI for mostly for shopping. And Google Shopping Graph has increased, and it is getting increased, and currently it has over 35 million product listings. And they also, are building a universal commerce protocol combining with Shopify. So which means Shopify merchants gets native checkout inside Google AI answers. And similarly, Amazon Rufus, which is basically an answer engine, which is basically a kind of a interactive AI bot inside every product page in Amazon, where it compares specs across listings, surface reviews, and answers any kind of pre-purchase questions a customer might have. And it also guides the customer with the right product suggestions, even if that but when the customer is on a particular product page, and if it based on the customer's requirement, if that particular product might not be a right fit, it also gives links for other product competition products as well. Okay. And so Perplexity Buy is the fastest growing AI shopping surface right now. So they added Snap to Buy for over 500 merchant categories in 2026, and they're also integrating with larger ecosystem of MCPs. And also this is being integrated with Anthropic for live inventory access. So this is where lots of innovation and kind of integrations and also growth we could see potentially down the line. People have already started investing in these engines. So we have to make sure our products have the proper structures, our pages have the proper structures, so we are not missed out in the citations of these engines. So yeah. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was so these are common protocols, like how people have earlier used the internet for searching a product and what is the current flow. So the old buying flow is basically as 5 steps. You go search something in Google, and Google list the list of links, and we go and browse through 5 or 10 maximum, like 10 stores, compare features manually, and then choose one and then make a purchase, right? And but this new flow, this research that we do, put effort, that we put initially to find the right product based on our requirement, that is being done by answer engines these days. So I go to ChatGPT or any other AI platform, asks AI agent for recommendations, giving all my requirements, and the agent does the analysis, and it brings me a list of products that might match my criteria. And now all my effort is to no browsing, just use go through the product listings that it has listed down and choose one that go to those 5 products and choose one out of it. So the way people are shopping has completely changed already. So we have to make sure the citations are correct for these engines as well. We can move on to the next one. And we are also like, if you have any questions, you can put it on the chat. We will try to address during the process, or we will take the questions at the end of the session. Okay. Right. So let me move on. The next thing is um, so these are the top 5 questions AI readiness diagnostics are, kind of asking. To start with, when we tell, like, whether our website is ready for these kind of optimization. So basically, we have to ask these 5 questions. The first question is like, is our store ready? Like, technically, can agents find you? So like, it is a straightforward thing. You can open ChatGPT right now, or or even do it after the session. Type a category level query that you would expect your customers to use. Something like best, and put your product category and put your price range and see whether your brand appears. If not, you have a findability problem, then no amount of schema will fix on its own. So findability is about brand mentions, knowledge graph presence, and third-party citations and source authority. Okay, so that's the first question we need to work upon. And the second question is, can agents read you, right? Go to there is a link called validator schema.org. I will put it on the chat for everyone. Just a minute. I'm putting it on the chat. So you can go through this link, okay, and put your store URL inside that, and you will see can so it will give, like, paste your product, especially your product URL, and see does offer schema appears with price, availability, currency, and shipping populated. So if it is not separating all these things under the each schema level, even if you have a beautiful product page, then it means the agents can't parse the data. Okay. And the third question is, can agents trust you, right? Search your brand name, like, directly put your brand name inside all these engines and look at what third-party sites say about your products. Are the specs, prices, and claims consistent? So inconsistency is a trust killer for agents. So make sure your data is consistent across all different channels that you sell. Okay. And the fourth one is, are you tracking the right metrics? Do you have a weekly or a bi-weekly cadence where you're tracking how often your brand appears in AI agents answers for your category queries? If not, though we have done, there is always a constant check needs to be done in these cases, because the current trend, the changes are huge and rapid, so we have to keep adopting to the changes continuously. And the last part is your platform ready? So when I talk about platform, you might be using Shopify, Magento, BigCommerce, or whatever other platforms. Does your platform auto generate offer schema? Does it support ACP for ChatGPT checkout or UCP for Google checkout? So all these things have to be verified. If you're if the platform doesn't support this, so then there is a serious problem that we need to quickly work upon. So these are the major five, things that you need to analyze and give a score for your website and need to start fixing according to what you see. Okay. More to the next slide. Yeah. So, like, I'll be expanding these questions slightly. So, what agents actually read? Like, if any of these answer engines come to your website, what they are reading? There is a gap in perception here, or that what you are showing and what it is reading, right? When you look at our product page, we see a beautifully designed layout, hero images, social proof, but when an agent evaluates your product page, it sees something completely different. It sees structured data, schema markup, feeds, attribute tables, or more often, if this structured data is not properly set, then it's not going to read the proper content. Okay. So the agents actually use product schema like identity, name, brand, image, attributes as a baseline. About 50% of the stores have this. And also, like, we have seen offer schema like price, availability, current, the currency or shipping is critical and present, which is currently present in only less than 1% of the stores, based on the audits that we have conducted so far. So this is literally the difference between an agent knowing your product exists and an agent being able to quote your price to the buyer. So there are key differences. Now, if you have done the first part correct and if you have not done the second part correct, so it will know you do have the product, but it cannot do a price comparison based on if the customer is asking, like, I need a specific sports shoe under $250, right? And if it can know you're priced at that point, but if your offer schema is not properly kind of addressed, so it might miss the you might miss the complete board there, right? And also we need to make sure your review schema makes customer feedback machine readable, not buried in a third party widget, right? So it has to be machine readable. And also the rating schema exposes your aggregate star rating with a verified source. And the last and the most important thing is FAQ page schema makes your question and answer content citable. So all these answer engines are trained in a way that it answers the specific questions. So when we put a product page, more question and answer based contents are very critical for these engines. So we always recommend putting a basic FAQ for your product under your product pages. Okay. So the standard layer is also important, like the basic schema.org that we traditionally use for Google, that is also important. And on top of that, we also need to optimize for our website for all this agent, kind of analysis or agent kind of a read through of your website and optimize these schemas as well. Can move on. And so the other aspect is like on the traditional Google, SEO, everything is click-through rate. So, but that is kind of, getting dead in recent, analysis that and the audits that we have been doing and the organic traffic growth patterns that we are seeing. It is getting more meaningless in an agentic commerce context. When an AI agent answers in place, there is no click. The transactions or recommendation happens inside the agent interface. The agent interface doesn't go and make a click on your website. So it just crawls through your website. So a ICTR from Google tells you nothing about whether you're appearing in AI agent answers or not. So the new metrics, what we need to analyze is AI citation rates. So the formula is pretty simple. Brand appearance in agent answers divided by your total category relevant queries that you run. If, for example, if you run like 20 category queries across four agents like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and Claude, you get 80 responses. And if your brand appears in 12 of those 80 responses, your AI citation rate will be like 15%. Okay. So uh, you don't need any new tooling to start tracking this. A spreadsheet and a quick math of 2 hours of work should be enough. And there are also lots of tools available to calculate this AI citation rates. And we do have our own tool that we can also add it for free for most of the sites to get the citation rates correct for each of your product pages. And I'm sorry, for your each of your overall website. Okay. So the next thing that what we are going to talk about is our experience or the benchmark that we have done with the current kind of audits that we have done for most of our customers. Okay, so we our team is continuously we have created our own tool where we have been auditing most of the many e-commerce websites, and we are collecting data, and that data typically shows that like 49% of the websites are having a product schema coverage, and less than 1% of the websites are doing offer schema coverage. So as I said earlier, since the first part is covered and the second part is not covered, the pricing information or offer calculations on the pricing is not being properly transferred to these engines. Say for example, right, so you have a $200 worth of product and you are currently adding an offer of 5% for that particular brand category, right? So now the additional 5 or 10% has to be reduced when a customer is is searching in ChatGPT for a product of that range. Now, if that schema is not properly transferred, though it will not auto apply that offer, it will just pick the current price of the product, which is $200 instead of $180 with the offer, right? So that has to be properly transferred to these chat engines or the AI agents to capture that information. Okay. And similarly, the reviews or rating schema or coverage is less than 1% for most of the websites that we have audited. And the FAQ schema deployment, we see people have, I mean, getting that awareness about, adding FAQs to the product pages. And we see a constant increase in the websites, people adopting to it. And we also see a constant increase in the percentage of websites that are adopting to the FAQ schema deployments. Okay. So the next part is we will dive deep into the platforms. Like, most of us would be using like Shopify or Magento or the top, 3 or 5 quadrant e-commerce platforms. So we will review what these platforms currently offer and who is the current, we could definitely see Shopify Plus as a winner in most of the criterias, Shopify and Shopify Plus. Shopify is mostly agent-ready platform, which with all the new releases they made with out of the box in 2026, Shopify Plus like as a native ACP integration. That means ChatGPT shopping checkout works without any custom development. Okay, and UCP was similar to ACP. They have also created UCP, which is to co-build with Google, which means Shopify merchants can enable checkout inside Google AI mode answers directly. Okay. And they've also introduced Shopify Magic, which generates AI product descriptions optimized for machine readability. And Semantic Search 2.0 brings attribute awareness on site search. The basic gaps that what we have seen in Shopify that yet to be improving is like the offer schema completeness needs to be verified, and shipping and currency fields are often missing, and review schema also requires like third-party apps, and the FAQ page schema requires again a third-party app or some kind of liquid template work. And the next platform like the Adobe Commerce or formerly which is known as Magento, this the strength of this platform is its deep customization via like the PWA Studio. You can build exactly the JSON LD output you need. And they also use Adobe Sensei AI, which generates product descriptions and enriches the attributes. The live search now powered by OpenSearch, which has an AI relevance ranking update in 2025. The major gaps we see in Magento is there is no auto generation of schema. Everything is manual, or you need any third-party extensions to achieve that. And similar to Shopify, the ACP and UCP for ChatGPT and Google, uh, Magento doesn't have that as a native feature, so we have to require or we need to custom develop that features for Magento websites, and that is a very highly expensive or a cost from a perspective, it requires a consistent amount of development effort as well. Okay. And the third platform, which is on the top quadrant, is BigCommerce. So the Catalyst reference storefront, which is built on Next.js, has a structured data support built in it, and this is a significant differentiator for headless deployments. Okay. And BigCommerce also has a B2B edition, which is strong for procurement use cases. And they also have like Google Shopping integration, auto sync schema for UCP eligibility. But the major gap we see is they are not ready for, like they are good for Google AI, but from ChatGPT perspective, they are yet to develop the ACPs, and it's currently in progress. We are expecting the release to be happening in another few months. And even the UCP they have for Google Merchant requires some kind of manual interventions or customization needs to be done. And the review or FAQ schema, it's all third party dependent. So overall, we see that bottom line, Shopify is ahead in this game, but no platform is fully agent ready at this point of time. But all these platforms are continuously working to fill the gaps, and we could see in another year, like in another 365 days, or close to like in another 6 months, most of these gaps will also be addressed in these platforms. Okay, so we can move on. And so the next part is like we are going to talk about what is a 90-day action plan, right? So with our experience on the audits and the current kind of work that we have been doing with our clients, we feel for making a website fully citation, AI citation ready, irrespective of the number of products that you have, we can pick up the top categories, at least we can pick up to top 20 categories and make it fully AI citation ready in 90 days. Starting from phase one, from day 1 to 30, like, diagnosing and foundation, what we call it as, we can run a full schema audit across your product, FAQs and review pages, and implement, all the schemas that are pending, like offer schema, and then wrap your FAQ content in FAQ page schema site wide, and set up your citation rate baseline probe. And also someone in your organization is responsible. We can assign them for schema quality going forward. And with our so we can set up the foundation audit, and based on the gaps we can start working on individual schemas. So that's phase one till date to day one to the day 30. And from day 31 to 60 we will do the build and implementation part. We will roll out the review and aggregated rating schema, clean up your knowledge graph presence, and inconsistent brand mentions and facts across the web. And also, we can address the platform specific gaps based on what platform that you're currently in, and align all the identifiers and conduct a fact consistency audit across the open web pages. Okay. And the last is measuring and scaling. Once we have done the build and implementation, now we have to continuously measure and improve it. So your citation rate tracking cadence is operational. So we have to, probe and learn certain things, and depends upon the number of changes that we are putting in and the schema fixes that you are putting in. We will work. We have to do proper governance, so so that the old products and new product listings are automatically getting the right schema. Okay. So we have to continuously measure, and we also need to see how the CI engines are constantly changing on their citation tracking. So we, according to that, we also need to adopt to it. So, but we can, as I said, like up to 20 categories, top 20 categories query, we can pick them, and we can make it fully AI citation ready in technically in 90 days. Okay. So yeah, you can move on to the next slide. Yeah. Yeah. The next slide, please. Yeah. Okay. So this is like if you for your website, like you can quickly do these tests. Okay. 4 actions, like probably you can try for this week. Wrap FAQ content in FAQ schema, which is quick, and it also brings a quick advantage on the AI citation rates. And audit offer schema, and as I said, you can pick the top 20 SKUs or top 20. If you're having a large kind of a product catalogs and different categories, you can pick like top 20 categories, and see like on your product URLs through validation schema.org, which I showed Chep had put it on the chat. Where is the gap, and we can start fixing it. And we can also set the citation rate baseline, and 20 again, like pick the top 20 categories or the product SKUs, and run them across all these channels like Chat GPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and Claude, and log whether your brand appears. And based on that gap, we can start fixing things. And the last part is run a budget reallocation review, because measurement is really critical, and also this is going to be a continuous evolving kind of a change. So we have to measure, and we have to do a budget reallocation for certain categories based on the work that we do. Next one, please. Okay. These are some of the case studies from our side. Like one of the top skincare brand, we found they're mostly like with fixing their FAQ schema first and then the review schema second. We could see that we have increased their citation rate by 15%. And similarly, with one of our mid-sized B2B industrial manufacturer, so there, that's a completely different use case. It's not a direct to consumer kind of a product, and people mostly come to the website for catalog purposes, or they wanted to see some specification documents like PDFs and those kind of things. So it's a completely different ball game. So so we worked on their brand and trust kind of aspects first. Okay. And then we worked upon the structured B2B data available. And then we also worked on the the pricing, differences. Like, so the B2B customers have an issue of price tiers. So we come up with a way of how the price tiers can be shown to the customers, people who are searching in ChatGPT. And also the last part is like, shortlisting the procurement agents and continuously tracking them and comparing for B2B previously, which is invisible for many of them, since it is like they are hidden only for customers who are logged in. So we have kind of come up with a solution for that, and we have helped chat agents, even if they have not logged in, they still know the process, what would be a price tier pricing for tier one, tier two, tier three. That citation has been done, that we saw a significant improvement in this AI citation rate by 25 to 30%. Okay. Yeah, the next slide, please, Sean. So we do have certain tools where you can score your site immediately and see where your site stands. And we will send along with this presentation a kind of a link where you can analyze your site. And then you can also set up a call with us where we can do a complimentary audit of your website and give a full report. And if you like it, we can discuss the next steps on making your website fully AI citation ready. Okay. Next slide, please. So yeah, this is again like a quick tip. Data is the new shelf. So and it's no more just humans browsing your websites. Agents have already started, looking into your website. So we have to structure the data both for humans as well as for these agents, and we have to monitor not just the click-through rate, also for the AI citation rate, and so the I mean we can everything starts with an audit implementation, build an implementation, and continuous measurements. So as I said, like if you're interested, we can do a complimentary audit as a next step with all the websites, and we can give our kind of expert advice, and we'll take it from there. Okay. Next slide, please. Yeah. Having said that, we have come to the end of the webinar. These are some of our experience data that we have done. I mean, we have listed here. So Sean and team will be sending you the presentation along with the recording of this webinar. And there will also be a Calendly link where you can directly schedule a 15 minutes call with us, discuss your website specifically, and we can do a complimentary audit, and we can give our full report on what needs to be fixed along with a 90-day game plan. I'll stop here for any questions. Okay. Sounds good, everyone. Thanks for joining, and we'll meet you with another webinar. Thanks for the call today.